Hey everybody, welcome to CALLOUS Fight Night. Wasn't able to catch it live, so we're going to do the replay here. We've got our defending champion Kristyl against the challenger, the 918th. Before we get into that, just want to remind you guys about CALLOUS Invitational 5. Invitations going out in less than 2 weeks, and the tournament's going to really get rolling. If you want to follow along with that, there's a link in the description to the CALLOUS Invitational 5 Discord server that you should totally join. And I also have to remind you about donations. Strictly optional, of course, but we are accepting them and have been for a few days. If you have anything at all to contribute to the tournament, if you enjoy watching it, if you have derived entertainment from the narrations that we do in the previous years, then we'd really appreciate your contribution. As little as $5 really adds a lot to the prize pool and would go a long way. We're trying to beat last year's total. We're already more than halfway there. Let's keep the ball rolling. So, back to business. CALLOUS Fight Night. Kristyl in the 918th. I already off-screen, since this is just the replay, have drawn who's going to play the next week's game. But first let's find out who wins this game, and we'll figure out that pairing later. Here's the game. Krystyl's bottom side. She's the defending champ. The 918th is our challenger. He's top side. It's a meta and immense, respectively, both of which can threaten each other. And indeed, neither one is happy with the matchup. They both pull it back, Spiker and a spinner, respectively. 918th likes that matchup better, spikes up, sees Coon, immediately booms on it, doesn't want it to calm mind up or do anything, so gets one layer down and calls it good, and now Gengar comes in to threaten the Coon with something like a Thunderbolt. There's the pullback to Doll, but 918th actually opts for the middle ground option of either covering Doll or the Coon instead of trying to hit one or the other with a Giga Drain. Follows up with an Ice Punch, and yes, Kristyl does get a Psychic off, which does a lot, but Gengar has the advantage here because it will easily kill the Claydol with either Giga Drain or Ice Punch, and Claydol has no chance to survive and retaliate. Goes Giga Drain and get a little bit of health back, makes sense to me, hits meta, no sand in play, so Gengar is also gaining lefties right now. But it's actually going to be all for naught, because he's going to go for the withdraw here and be caught off guard by the uncommon, and honestly I don't really like it very much, but it is a thing every now and again, the uncommon Pursuit Metagross, which the damage is just so underwhelming usually, but in this particular instance it does enough. Maybe that was a really good roll or a really not bulky Gengar, but 55% is more than it usually does, but it gets it done here, and 918th finds himself very quickly in an early hole here. He's down 6-4, our defending champ Kristyl looking good. Here's Jirachi coming in, and Coon is just going to remain asleep. Kills the turn, doesn't show Sleep Talk, sure. Respects the possibility of Thunder or Thunderbolt here, probably wise. And Rachi's going to opt to Calm Mind up. Lax comes in to check it, don't know if it is Earthquake or whatever, it's its first appearance. Psychic 27%, still no sand in play, so lefty's being gained. And that's quite unlucky for 918. That's an immediate crit Earthquake. Obviously that mattered, no chance to kill without a crit. That's pretty bad hacks for a player who's already behind. Kristyl catches a pretty nice break there and really cements her lead. 918th is very far in a hole right now after that critical hit. Focus Punch coming down. Coon going to remain asleep. I mean, it connects, but 23% is just not that damn exciting. Coon doesn't care. Here comes another one anyway, and here's the wake up. Going to be interrupted by Surf and another critical hit. That's really not what 918th needs right now, and he's already so far behind. Kristyl is just domino affecting 918th down. It's getting real bad real quick here. Here's Lax, which, I mean, Last Folk Lax is one of the best things you could do in this tier, but I'm looking at the team on the other side. I see things like Metagross, Claydol, Lax. I mean, those could all, some or all of them could have Explosion or Self-Destruct. I mean, that's gonna make it very difficult for a Last Poke Lax to be good enough. It's one of the best Last Pokes you could have. It really is. It's one of those Mons that can just come back from 4-1, 5-1, and just win the game, but it seems it's run into a not great matchup for Last Poke Lax. A lot of things that could blow up on it on the other side. Here's Moltres for Kristyl. Avoids Para on Body Slam. Connects with Will-O-Wisp for the burn. Now Body Slam comes down, does way less obviously, and again fails to Para. Kristyl has really been on the better end of the RNG as far as hacks are concerned. And now Moltres is going to begin to stall it out. Goes for Morning Sun, functioning as a recover in this case, since there is no sand. So 50% back, Body Slam does not even close to that at 21. And after a third attempt, still no para. Here's a fourth attempt. There we go. Finally, the para kicks in. A break finally for 918th. Going to need a lot more of those, but you've got to start somewhere. Oh, it's not even a last poke lax. It's just a self-destruct variant. So all along, you didn't really have hope of winning with that poke. It would have needed to be a specific set that it wasn't. So now he's going to have to set up a DD Mence and just get there. And that's going to be really hard when the three pokes that all may have boom remain on the other side. And indeed, there's an immediate self-destruct. So now it's Mence against four pokes. Could sweep if it gets a couple DDs off, but there's probably at least one, if not multiple, booms on the other side. It would have to have Protect or something, which is just not a set. So I guess he has to immediately go for the attack here and get a crit. Instead, he's simply going to miss. And there is the boom, and there is the game. I don't know that it was a DD Mence. Fire Blast is going to indicate either a mixed Mence or a choice band Mence, but DD Fire Blast, not really a thing. So I don't think, again, that he had the right set to sweep there anyway, even if he had gotten luckier. But Kristyl going to take this one down. This game, like I said, pretty one-sided with the hacks. I mean, to be fair, I don't want to blame this game solely on hacks. Before the BS began, Kristyl had a 6-4 lead anyway, and very well may have won the game anyway. But the comeback was made basically impossible when 918th started getting unlucky. The critical hit with the lax against the Rachi really, really put a nail in the coffin. And there were a couple other things after that, but the hole was so big at that point that I don't know that 918th could have come back without some absolutely obscene string of, para, full para, freeze, whatever. Would have needed to catch all the hacks in order to even have a chance. I think Kristyl pretty much had it in the bag at that point. Well, she's going to defend her title, and she's going to be back next week. Like I said, I did the drawing off screen here since this is just the replay, and it's harder to show the screen when I have the recording set up in this way, and I'm only focused on a small portion of the screen. The person that I drew was Zach PZ, and I think it's his birthday today, too. I mean, I didn't just hook him up because it's his birthday, just a coincidence, but if you're watching this, happy birthday. But it's going to be Zach PZ against Kristyl next week for CALLOUS Fight Night. I also want to note real quick, with CALLOUS Invitational looming, that Fight Night, the days are numbered. Will I bring it back after CALLOUS Invitational, or after SPL, or whatever tournaments I'm involved in? Maybe, probably. But I just can't keep up with this while CALLOUS Invitational is going on. There's just too much. There's also going to be World Cup of Pokemon Perfect coming up, which is another obligation. There's also an RBY tour that I'm involved with. I'm going to be a busy guy. Fight Night is going to have to get the cut, unfortunately. So, the last night of Fight Night is going to be August 1st, which is a Sunday, and then play-ins are going to begin 1 week after. So we got a couple more of these. Enjoy them while they're here, but the days are numbered. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week for Kristyl against Zach PZ.